you tomorrow, Bob.
Yeah, it's quitting time. Let's get going.
Oh, this is a nice place here. Oh, I get my best work done at night. And I think, oh, sorry, I don't normally get too many visitors down here. In fact, you're my first. Pleased to meet you. If you can't quite place who I am, I'm St. Joseph, patron saint of the Universal Church, fathers, and especially carpenters. For a workman like me, a place like this is the perfect place to come and think and get some work done. As long as you're down here, pull up a chair. I like the company. And there's something I want to talk to you about. I've been around more annual appeals than I care to mention. And I know talking about the annual appeal and the money itself can raise certain feelings and attitudes. Can I afford a gift this year? Where does the money go? Weren't we just asked to give to this recently? All those common questions and concerns. So knowing all that, I'm going to ask you to think a little differently this year. As you may have heard, the Holy Father, Pope Benedict XVI, asked the Universal Church to participate in a year of faith. Faith has many facets, one of which, of course, is faith expressed in action. Last year, if you remember, the annual appeal proclaimed, "We are the diocese." We still are. You are the diocese. I am the diocese. All 200,000 people in our 164 parishes. We are the diocese. And this year, we are the diocese connected by faith. You know, I was thinking about an interview I heard about our faith in action, made possible by the Diocesan Annual Appeal. It said that without
Sojourner House, my life would be nowhere. It would be a kind of a shambles. I wouldn't have a job. I don't know where I'd be living, and I wouldn't have developed a sense of direction in my life as far as where I'm at right now and where I can go.
What most people may not know about this place is that it's even here, and that I can't say it enough, the staff and the volunteers, they buy the food, prepare the meals, they give us shelter, they don't make us feel like we're homeless bums. It's a pretty positive atmosphere, and it makes me feel better about myself.
Money or whatever you're donating is given to the people. It is used for the people who are using that facility. You know, it covers all the costs, you know, staffing, electric bills, and without generous donations, we would be living like we were once, like in the 50s and 60s when these places didn't exist and we were hobos on the railroad.
I'd like you to consider, as you look at these pieces, what life would be like in our diocese without your participation. What would happen in all of these situations were it not for the Diocesan Annual Appeal, and were it not for your charity, your participation in the life of the diocese connected by faith. Last year, folks, we ran the Diocesan Annual Appeal campaign with the logo, "We are the diocese." Well, I can't fight with success. You've responded well to that, and you've told me all over the diocese that you've picked up the tagline, and many of you have stopped me all over the place telling me we are the diocese, and you've told me that you liked it. I'm saying keep that idea. Let's build on it. Let's realize why we are the diocese. We're not a diocese just simply because of the fact we're a territory of the Catholic Church. We're not just the diocese because we've got parishes and we got to do something with them. We are the diocese connected by faith because we believe in Jesus Christ. We see him in one another. And our contributions to one another are done in his name. We are the diocese, connected by faith.
Do you recognize these words? I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible. I believe in one Lord, Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God. The Nicene Creed. It's a pretty good way we express our faith. Do you remember who taught it to you when you first learned it? I'm guessing that at least part of it you learned from a priest. When we say we are the diocese, naturally priests are a big part of a diocese connected by faith. But how does the annual appeal ensure that priests are here to teach our future generations?
Without the donations from the annual appeal, it would be hard for me to really know what my life would have been like. The donations are so instrumental in providing money, which allows me to go to seminary. I went to Mundelein Seminary for 5 years, was just ordained a priest recently for our diocese. And without the support of the annual appeal, my seminary studies would not have been possible. What I would like the people who donate to this annual appeal to know is how grateful I truly am for your gift, how much it's meant for my life, especially the last 5 years. That time in seminary to grow in my relationship with Jesus Christ, which has been so instrumental in me answering this call.
Without the Diocesan Annual Appeal, our training would have really been quite impossible. The appeal makes it possible for all of us to afford, first of all, schooling. My family, none of us individually, with our family's help, could afford to go to the seminary, could afford the schooling. Most of our budget for the vocations office comes directly from the Diocesan Annual Appeal, and so we really need it, and we count on everyone to support us in that way, not only financially but by prayer as well. We really need it.
I'd like to thank you as well, because if it wasn't for your support, I wouldn't be able to be here. I wouldn't be able to go to school. I wouldn't have had the experiences I had this last year, which I can honestly say was probably the best year of my life.
Father Al, sometimes they ask the question of who's the greatest influence on a vocation? Well, one thing I've learned is not the vocation director. When they do the studies, it's parish pastors, it's the parents, it's relatives, it is people in the parish. If we're going to have vocations, it's going to come from there. And that's why we've got a rather humble position. I love the role of vocation, you'll love it too. But we've got to get people to realize that vocation is so much bigger than just us doing our little bit of work. And it's so much bigger than any one parish can afford. And that if we do our work together, we're moving forward, we're not moving backwards. And we're looking at more seminarians, not fewer. I just wish you the best. I love what we've done. I look forward to what's going to happen. God bless you. Thank you.
See this? The way it fits together? It took work to get it to connect. If we are going to make the diocese truly connected by faith, well, I guess you have the idea by now. It's going to take work. Henry Ford, another man who understood the rewards of working hard for something great, once said, "Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success." That seems to fit pretty well when we talk about passing on the faith through youth ministry.
Youth ministry has been so important to me because it really allowed me to re-embrace my relationship with Christ. I was at an all-time low in my faith a couple years ago, and youth ministry really allowed me to grasp a hold of that again.
Because it helps kids and it helps the whole church itself by getting the kids involved, and when you see kids getting involved, it helps the parents get involved, it helps their friends get involved. It's kind of like a chain reaction, and it gets everyone to want to grow in their faith more.
The best example of our diocese being connected by faith was the time we took a mission trip to Joplin, Missouri, and helped out the people there who had been in a tornado. And It was just, we were all so close and we all bonded together through Christ's love to help others.
Now I hope I got you thinking about the people your gifts to the annual appeal will help and connect with. I hope you have seen where the money goes, not just in terms of one person or one place, but into the entire diocese. Maintaining momentum on an undertaking like this is hard work, but I like to say hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all. That's not you. That's not us. To support the life of a church is a big job, but so is our opportunity. I'd say the places and ways we can participate are unlimited.
Folks, now comes the time when I get to tell you what the bottom line is. What are the figures we're talking about? How do we take the dollars and cents that we need from you to be able to connect in the diocese in all the various ways in which we've discussed and all the various things you've seen? I'm going to ask you for $5,102,750. It's a lot of money. And I realize that in all the ways in which you contribute to charitable operations around the country, around the state, in your own community, in your own family, you look and you hear that kind of money and you say, yikes, what's the church doing with that? And in a lot of ways, we want to tell you precisely where that money is going to be going. $975,000 goes precisely to those areas of priestly formation and seminary education, the care of our elderly priests. We're praying, as I said, for new priests, but we also have to be able to care for and to assist those who are elderly and those who are in specific need. The charity and the missions of the wider church comes up to about $1,310,000. Those are the areas of support that I've mentioned in the ways in which we actually put the gospel into effect in practical ways. Catholic Charities, Sojourner House, the various ways in which around the diocese there are different kinds of outreaches specifically to the poor and to the marginalized and to those who are in special need. Catholic education, as I mentioned before, is another area of great need, and that amount comes to about $899,000 out of the Diocesan Annual Appeal. So I'm grateful, and I can't say that enough. And it's not a contrivance to try to get you to give more. It's a genuine sentiment. It's a genuine respect for your dollars. And it's a genuine gratitude for the ways in which you support us, the ways in which you support the works of your diocese. We are the diocese, connected by faith. Thank you, and God be with you.
So I think I'm about done here. It is my prayer that you can generously contribute to this year's annual appeal. The Second Vatican reminds us every person must walk unhesitatingly according to his own personal gifts and duties in the path of living faith, which arouses hope and works through charity. Well, it's getting early and I think I better get going. This is a great diocese, and it'll be made even greater connected by faith. Let's get to work doing what needs to be done, working together. I'll be seeing you.
Oh, morning, guys. Where'd this chair come